Neil's ex-wife, Crystal, recently dropped a major bombshell, revealing some serious allegations about his behavior during their marriage. If you missed it, Danity Kane singer Dawn Richards has filed a new lawsuit against Diddy, where she's exposed some shocking details about his alleged mistreatment. What's even more startling is that Dawn has named Neil as one of the individuals who supposedly witnessed Diddy's behavior and did nothing, implying Neil may have been complicit in Diddy's alleged crimes. Crystal, who's now backing Dawn's claims, has also shared her own disturbing experiences with Neil. She alleges that Neil engaged in shady and inappropriate behavior during their marriage, which she suggests he might have learned from Diddy. Crystal's revelations come as a significant shock to many, given her first-hand experience with Neil's alleged misconduct. Crystal recently took to social media to address these issues, and her statements were nothing short of explosive. According to her, Neil was not just a problematic husband, but engaged in troubling behavior that affected their relationship deeply. Their marriage was reportedly strained for years, largely due to Neil's alleged mistreatment. The final straw came when it was revealed that Neil fathered a child with an exotic dancer in Atlanta, while he was still married to Crystal. This affair and the child were initially exposed through an anonymous blind item, and it hit Crystal hard, especially since Neil had been publicly working to reconcile with her during the same period. Crystal's emotional response was evident in her statement. 8 years of lies and deception. 8 years of unknowingly sharing my life and my husband with numerous women. To say I'm heartbroken and disgusted is an understatement. I ask that you all please stop sending me videos or information of him cheating because what he does is no longer my concern. I'm choosing to stand tall with my head held high, with no hate in my heart. I wish him nothing but the best. Neil's reaction to Crystal's statement was perceived as dismissive. He liked her post, which many interpreted as a sign of indifference toward her pain. Following this, Neil issued his own statement on Twitter, saying, "For the sake of my children, my family, and I will work through our challenges behind closed doors. Personal matters are not meant to be addressed and dissected in public forums. I simply ask that you please respect me and my family's privacy at this time." Despite his plea for privacy, Neil's response has done little to quell the public's scrutiny. His subsequent comments on a podcast, where he described himself as only human, only fueled further controversy and skepticism about his character. The situation remains fluid, and it's clear that more details will continue to emerge as this story unfolds.
As a human being, I make mistakes. As a human being, I am selfish. As a human being, I have desires, and you know what I'm saying? I wasn't always being the kind of husband that you're supposed to be. That's just is what that is. You know, I've cheated. I've done things that husbands ain't supposed to do, and that's what eventually led to us talking about divorce.
Wow. And then getting to the point where you're renewing your vows.
Yes.
Crystal told TMZ she's heartbroken by Neil's deceit, choosing to move on with dignity and no hate.
Crystal, what are the chances you and Neil can work it out here?
There are no chances.
No
God is good.
None at all?
No,
Did
we're moving on to better lives.
Did he just like go to a point where there's no coming back?
Certain things can't be forgiven, but God will forgive. And
The situation surrounding Neil and his ex-wife Crystal has taken a dark and complex turn. Recently, Crystal spoke to TMZ, revealing troubling details about her marriage to Neil and his subsequent actions. The drama intensified when Crystal disclosed that, in addition to the alleged mistreatment she suffered, Neil pursued a gag order against her. This court order was intended to prevent her from speaking about their marriage and divorce, adding another layer of complexity to their already fraught relationship. According to court documents, Crystal posted a detailed and explicit message on her personal Instagram account, accusing Neil of being a narcissist and subjecting her to 8 years of lies and deception. The documents indicate that the petitioner, likely Neil, claimed that Crystal's public statements caused him significant financial harm. Specifically, the respondent, presumably Neil, asserted that he had lost around $400,000 in wages due to diminished public appearances, professional bookings, and promotional efforts as a result of Crystal's allegations. Furthermore, Neil allegedly refused to pay Crystal alimony, even though she had been forced to be a stay-at-home mom during their marriage. What raised eyebrows was the fact that Neil sought a gag order over their divorce, particularly since Crystal had merely announced the end of their marriage. While gag orders are not uncommon in high-profile divorces, Neil's extreme measure hinted at deeper, more troubling issues. It was already known that Neil had cheated on Crystal, so the nature of the secret he was attempting to shield became a point of intense speculation. The rumors circulating about the divorce suggested that domestic violence, DV, might be at the core of their issues. If these allegations are true, it underscores a severe and disturbing pattern of behavior. Crystal's decision to speak out now is linked to recent revelations in a lawsuit filed by Dawn Richards against Diddy. In her lawsuit, Dawn exposed some harrowing details about Diddy's behavior, which included mistreatment of women around him. Dawn also supported claims by Lil Rod regarding Diddy's alleged inappropriate behavior, including holding parties where young, scantily clad individuals were reportedly subjected to drug use and other unsettling activities. The court documents detailed instances of Diddy's alleged abuse, including one particularly alarming incident where Dawn claimed Diddy punished her by locking her in an unheated car during winter. The situation was described as dire, with Dawn feeling panicked and terrified due to the lack of heat and communication, all while her belongings were left behind in the studio. Such inhumane treatment was reportedly part of a broader pattern of Diddy's behavior, including forcing women to rehearse for extended periods without breaks and using demeaning language. One particularly troubling aspect of Dawn's lawsuit was the claim that Diddy would regularly belittle her, making derogatory comments about her body in front of his entourage. This behavior reportedly included ordering her to strip down to her underwear and insulting her with harsh, demeaning remarks. It's heartbreaking and infuriating to hear such accounts, but what makes it even more disturbing is the claim that Neil, among others, allegedly witnessed these incidents and did nothing to intervene. The situation echoes similar claims made by Cassie Ventura, who had previously alleged that multiple industry insiders were aware of her mistreatment but chose to remain silent. Dawn's lawsuit includes allegations that Diddy once punched Cassie in front of Neil, Usher, and others at a dinner in West Hollywood. According to the court documents, Diddy and Cassie had a heated argument, which escalated to Diddy forcibly punching Cassie in the stomach, causing her visible pain. Despite the severity of the incident, Neil and Usher, who were present at the dinner, reportedly continued socializing as if nothing had happened. This account raises serious questions about the behavior of those who were present and their moral responsibility to speak out against such abuse. Speculation has arisen that Neil might have been intimidated by Diddy and thus chose to remain silent. However, insiders close to Crystal suggest otherwise. According to these sources, Crystal believes Neil's inaction was less about fear and more about his own alleged problematic behavior. She sees Neil's failure to act as indicative of a broader issue where he too engages in similar mistreatment and has likely become desensitized to it. The public reaction has been swift and critical. Many fans and observers have condemned both Neil and Usher for their apparent indifference to Cassie's suffering. Comments online reflect outrage at how they supposedly sat by while Diddy acted violently. The situation has ignited a broader conversation about the responsibility of bystanders in such cases and the need for accountability in the entertainment industry. Crystal's decision to come forward now, amid the broader context of these revelations, seems driven by a desire to shed light on the disturbing patterns of behavior she witnessed and endured. Her story, combined with Dawn's lawsuit and other allegations, paints a troubling picture of the environment within the industry. As more details emerge and the legal battles continue, it's clear that this situation is far from resolved. The scrutiny on Neil, Diddy, and their associates will likely intensify as people demand justice and accountability. Crystal's courage in speaking out is an important step in bringing these issues to light, and it remains to be seen how the industry will respond to these serious allegations. For now, fans and the public are left to grapple with the disturbing revelations and consider the broader implications of these stories on the culture of celebrity and power dynamics. The need for reform and greater transparency in addressing such abuses has never been clearer. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for more updates on this unfolding situation.